the launch of its website today at the hands of our Pujya Guruji, Swami Tejamananji. I want to narrate a brief story. This is about Guru Dakshina. Pujya Gurudev's last sankalpa was to set up Chinmaya International Foundation at Cochin as a university. So today, I am reminded of a story. This place is called Sandipani Sadhanalaya. Sandipani Muni was the teacher, the guru for Bhagavan Sri Krishna. And after imparting his knowledge, when the Shishya, Krishna asked his guru, what is the Guru Dakshina? The Guru Ma told him about having lost their son quite a long time ago. And Krishna went in search of that lost son and brought that son back to the Guru as his Guru Dakshina. So today, as I am standing here before you, it is with a great amount of gratitude to Pujya Gurudev and a fulfillment of his vision. So this entire event itself is a Guru Dakshina from all of us to Pujya Gurudev. Hari Om. I will briefly introduce the people who are on stage. Pujya Guruji, Swami Tejamananji, is the Chancellor of Chinmaya Vishwavidyapeeth. His Holiness Swami Brahmananji, the Chairman of Chinmaya International Foundation, which is the trust which has sponsored the university. Swami Mitrananji, next to Brahmaji, is the trustee of Chinmaya University Trust and the visionary behind the entire reach out of the university to the people. Next to Guruji is Swami Advayananji, the President of the Executive Council of the University and the inspiration to at least make me work properly. Next to Swami Mitrananji is Professor B. Mahadevan, who is the Vice Chancellor of our university. And next to Professor Mahadevan is Professor Srinivas Varkhedi, who will be the Dean of Faculties of our Chinmaya Ishwar Gurukul for Indic Wisdom at Cochin. Next to Advayananji is Sriram Balirauji, who is one of the trustees of our Chinmaya University Trust. And yours humbly is Suresh Subramanian, the Registrar of the University. I request Pujya Guruji to offer his benediction and inspire us with his address on the launch of this university website today. Hari Om.
ओम श्री क्या हो गया? ओम श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः. हरि ओम. Few years ago, 4 or 5 maybe, one day Swami Advayananda met me and said, there is a person who wants to offer donations for the Sanskrit University. Should we accept it? And at that time, we had absolutely no idea of this Chinmaya Vishwavidyapeeth. I said, it was a sankalpa of Pujya Gurudev, isn't it? He said, yes. I said, it will happen, you take it. And we accepted that donation. And today, we are seeing the fructification of that. So, the Mahatmas are Satya Sankalpa, they are called. So, their Sankalpa definitely fructifies. Or Pujya Gurudev is Satya Sankalpa only. Amogha it is. It never goes in vain. At right time, it manifests. And what could be a better time than his own birth centenary year for this university to come into existence? More about this Vishwavidyapeeth, our Swami Advayananda will tell you, and the website that will be launched, that also will be shown to you, explained to you. When we have such an institute, we must have a logo also, or a Dhyaya Vakya. And we made it Vidyaya Sanskriti. That's all. A culture is protected, nurtured, nourished only by true knowledge. Vidyaya Sanskriti. What is the vision behind this Vidyapeeth? So he wrote a very simple shloka. Vidyaya Sanskriti Rakshita Sarvada. Sanskrite Manava. Sanskrita Bhurida. A culture is protected by Vidya. And only through this Vidya and culture, only a person is called cultured person. And what is the sign of a cultured person? So, Bhurida. He becomes the benefactor, he is the giver of everything. In practical words, as our Chinmaya mission place says, producing more than what we consume and giving more than what we take. So in our culture, it should be giving more and more. And you can give only what you have. But what you have, you should have that magnanimity, generosity, large-heartedness to share with others. That is a sign of culture. Now when we say Vidya, one is called Adhyatma Vidya, spiritual knowledge, and other is a secular knowledge. But the secular knowledge also should be learned, practiced with spiritual vision. This is not a time for me to go into too much of details of everything. But we were discussing when we met in our coaching that what should be our ideas. So I said the foundation of this university must be spiritual vision. That is number one. Second is called purity. Purity in the sense, because we are going to have performing arts also. So when we are teaching classical music, then the purity of that classical music should be maintained. Because nowadays, lot of fusions are happening, and to make something very popular, so many mix-up things happen, So when we teach Sanskrit, it should be taught in Sanskrit. Now they are learning Sanskrit in English. So the spirituality, purity, and most important, applicability. People should feel benefited. Otherwise, Sanskrit language, as you know, particularly about Sanskrit, they say it is a dead language. Actually, people are dead to it. That Sanskrit language is not dead. But why we feel? Because others, they say, if you study Sanskrit, either you will become a priest or a teacher, or sometimes a great scholars. But other people don't see any practicality of it. But our attempt should be that whatever we are doing, the foundation is spiritual. Whatever subjects we are teaching, there must be purity and practicality, applicability. Keeping that in mind, we will be having the courses, and I am sure with God's grace and Pujya Gurudev's blessings and the hard work that is put in, particularly two persons I will tell more, those are present here, is one is Swami Advayananda and second is Suresh Subramaniam. We all have played our own different roles, but that consistency, persistent, and going to the government offices, meeting and all, that is something rare. And that's why their efforts are blessed by the Lord. Of course, our mission members in Delhi, Chinmaya mission, they are also there. I will take the name of Prarthana ji. So, all they have really worked hard, and now it is becoming a reality. Our Chinmaya International Foundation is the sponsoring trust, and Swami Brahmanand ji is the chairman of CIF. Mitranand ji, friend of all. He is going to motivate more and more people, and we'll have different campus and different courses that we will be having, which will be of use for themselves and for the society at large. So I invoke God's grace and Pujya Gurudev's blessings to be with us all the time to take this project forward. Thank you very much for your presence here and support.
Hari Om. I request Pujya Swami Brahmanand ji to kindly give us his benediction.
Hari Om. In India, every mountain, every river is named after a rishi or a god. If you go to Chaturvarnyam, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, for all the four Varna, if you go and find out who started it, always a rishi who started. We call it as a Gotra. Bharadwaja Gotra, Kapila Gotra, Vishwamitra Gotra, Angirasa Gotra. So here we are with Chinmaya Gotra. So even Banaras Hindu University, it started with the blessings of Shringeri Jagadguru Chandrasekhar Bharati. So that way, in India, everything, it always starts with a holy man, Rishi Parampara. So same tradition is going ahead. So I sincerely invoke Pujya Gurudev's blessings for all the success of our future projects. Hari Om.
Guruji has succinctly put in the background in which we established the Chinmaya Vishwavidyapeeth. But there is a brief story which goes behind it. I request Swami Advananji to give us an idea about the genesis of the university and how we are where we are today. Hari Om.
चिन्मयं व्यापि यत्सर्वं त्रैलोक्यं सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. I have been requested to speak about the genesis of our Chinmaya University. It all started with the Sankalpa of Pujya Gurudev. Guruji mentioned Satya Sankalpa. That day when Pujya Gurudev entered into the sacred campus, sacred birth home of Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya, he was having fever, temperature, sitting on a wheelchair, and the trustees wanted to take Gurudev in the wheelchair around. Gurudev got up. They said, Gurudev, please sit. We will take you around. He said, no, let my footprints be here. It was Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya's birth home. And that birth home came to Chinmaya Mission. And it was Sri Swami, our Parama Gurudev, Tapovanji's birth centenary year. Chinmaya International Foundation was established. And when Pujya Gurudev gave the vision for CIF, the famous bridge statement, CIF stands a bridge between East and West, past and present, science and spirituality, Pandit and public. One important thought which Pujya Gurudev wanted CIF to take was a Sanskrit university. Gurudev said in 5 years, 1993 was Pujya Gurudev's Mahasamadhi. 1990 was CIF was established. It took its time, and CIF also grew. It became recognized by Mahatma Gandhi University as a research center for Sanskrit. Indira Gandhi National Open University, IGNOU, recognized as a research center for Sanskrit. DSIR, Department of Industrial and Scientific Research, because of CIF's work on manuscriptology and Anusaraka, recognized CIF as a scientific and industrial research organization. It grew. And finally came a very important recognition, and that is Shodha Sansthan, Adarsha Shodha Sansthan, by Rashtriya Sanskrit Sansthan, which is the highest body for Sanskrit in the country. And it was, CIF was recognized as Center for Excellence in Sanskrit Research. That way it grew. And then came one point, which Guruji was also mentioning. One of our devotees from Bombay only had come, and I was just discussing with that person about Gurudev's vision and all, explained everything, and then spoke about a Sanskrit university. Immediately the person It was in his home Swami Vivekananda also stayed in Bombay. Immediately he got inspired. And he said, I think some 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs. He said, this I would like to give for the university. I said, you wait. That day night I wrote an email to Pujya Guruji. Said, this person, he is wanting to give this amount for university. Pujya Gurudev had spoken about a university for Sanskrit. Guruji, should we accept it or not? I thought a few days afterwards Guruji's reply will come. You know Guruji, how fast he replies. Next day morning I open, his email is there. And it was very, very simple, straightforward. If Gurudev had said it, it will happen. Don't hesitate, accept. And that was how the vision started growing. And from that day onwards, I knew that CIF will have to start the university. Gurudev's Sankalpa was there, and Guruji confirmed to me, we are going to make it happen. Well, that was 2010 Guruji, when Guruji had spoken. Then before, a few months before our birth centenary celebrations launch at Ernakulam, Swami Mitrananji once he called me. Said we were to meet the PM for birth centenary celebration, inviting him, etc. So he said, hey Advayananda, day Advayananda, that is how he What do you think? I said, Swamiji, we should have a university. Okay. So, a few days afterwards, Guruji's call came. See, I have to speak about Genesis, okay? You may wonder why I am telling all these things. Few days afterwards, Pujya Guruji's call came. And Advayananda, I hear some university and all, we are working there at CIF. What is the university? I said, Guruji, we are planning out an online virtual university. Like that, I explained 2 minutes. And I heard Guruji was telling, I think Pramodini Amma, they are talking of some online university. It will not work for us, for Nadabindu. Suddenly I thought, see, Nadabindu, Chinmaya Nadabindu, has students who come over there for their music, dance studies, and certification has to be given to them, preferably from university. And suppose we get certification from recognized Nadabindu to some local university and all, they very seriously restrict the creativity what we want to bring into our syllabus. So when Guruji said something like that, it will not suit, we thought that why should we have a university only for CIF? Why can't it be a university for the whole of Chinmaya mission? That was a paradigm shift. So then we moved forward. Then Guruji introduced me to one very, very exemplary hard worker, methodical person, and this is Mr. Suresh Subramaniam, who is sitting. And from then onwards, it went on in leaps and bounds. One important aspect where we could have stuck up very strongly was that when we had to give the application, we thought that after giving the application, we can raise the funds required. They said that with the application, submit 25 crores. With the application, give 25 crores as corpus. Now 25 crores with the application is ready. 25 crores is not ready. That was the situation. Then came our greatest Hanumanji of our mission, the great Hanumanji to Pujya Gurudev, our Guruji. I don't think in the history of Chinmaya mission in 15 days, I may be wrong, I do not know the whole of Chinmaya mission, the whole 15 days, 25 crores Pujya Guruji raised. In USA, so many centers, when Pujya Guruji spoke about it, so many centers in USA, individuals came forward spontaneously. That vision of Pujya Gurudev for the university, they immediately felt it. And they all offered. And we knew we are on track. If that had not happened, Guruji, our mission centers had not contributed immediately, I think it will be difficult. One important person who stood by us when he was very, very sick, in fact, lying in the hospital, was Sri G.V. Ishwarji. He was truly Ishwar in his unconditional giving. So, see, so many, when Shubha happens also, when auspicious things happen, we get clues that yes, the cosmos also wants it. And we got all these clues. And thus, we moved forward. We moved forward. And today we are sitting in this very place, Sandipni Sadhanalaya. I don't think there could be a better place for inaugurating. Well, we are inaugurating the website from which everything is going to start. So to say, it is a kind of inauguration. Well, what is this university? This university is a deemed university, and we come under a very, very unique category which is called de novo. The word de novo means new. That's what the word means. De novo category is that category meant for unique and emerging areas of knowledge and Indian culture. We have applied under the government has given us for the Indian culture aspect of it. And as a deemed university, the advantage is we can have 6 campuses within the country. Usually when you have a state university, it will be limited to that particular state. So under the deemed university category, we can have various campuses within the country. And not only that, we can have any number of campuses overseas, with the permission of those governments, of course. You all know, you may be knowing, that we have got but also the world pool of knowledge too. This is the purpose of this university. So we move forward. More than talking, what is required now is going forward, action forward. And each and every one of you present here, please note, we can all be part and parcel of this great effort. If you just say, yes, I am interested in some way to be associated with it, and you do not know what way you could be associated with it also, not to worry. Just send us an email. Just contact any one of us here, and we'll find out ways and means by which you can contribute. So, in Gurudev's centenary year, CIF moves forward. The whole Chinmaya mission moves forward to have a beautiful Chinmaya University.
Arms, 2 legs on which a university stands. One is the faculty, and the other are the students. What the university holds for students, Swami Mitranandji will be speaking to us about it. Of course, we are still a little away in inviting students to apply for our courses. There is still certain regulatory formalities to be completed, which we hope to fulfill in the next few days, whereafter this website that we are launching will be open for admissions. But in the meantime, the world would want to know what the university holds for students, for the students' parents, and for the world at large. Swami Mitranandji will give the clarion call. Hari Om.
Thank you. Pujya Guruji, Pujya Swami Brahmanandji, Advayananda. You heard it? Okay. And to everyone present here, my pranams. I always take this liberty with Advayananda because we were childhood friends and he was my neighbor. So that's the reason. Fine. Okay. During Jyoti Yatra, we visited Benares Hindu University with the Gurudev's Jyoti. It was a very moving movement for all of us because Benares Hindu University was celebrating their 100th year. And we are celebrating Gurudev's 100th year. And the Jyoti reached Hindu Benares University. One of the thoughts which went to the entire team who was with us that time was saying, someday somebody will celebrate 100 years of our university, because we were just at the stage of beginning. And the story behind Benares Hindu University is one person's vision, just like Gurudev's vision. That time it was 100 years ago, was Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya ji. He wanted this university because India lost even basic education, and it was only probably the convents which were there under the British. So he wanted a proper university for the Indian youth, and the first person he went and asked was Nawab of Hyderabad. And the Nawab said, call it Hindu-Muslim Benares University. And Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya ji said, name is already given. The child is born and name is given. I have just come to you. We can't change the name. And then he said, okay. And the Nawab gave him 1 rupee and said, this is all I can give you, and take it and go. And that too he gave that 1 rupee on his footwear. Take it and go. Malviya ji was a very brilliant thinker. He said, thank you very much. I know the university is made. He took that 1 chappal to Charminar and auctioned it. And it went for 4 lakhs of rupees. And the Nawab is also a very noble man. Like, he called Malviya ji and I said, you're brilliant and I admire your tenacity to do this. I give you 1 crore of rupees. And that's how Hindu Benares University started. So there was a story behind. Similarly, we also have a story. Once the Sankalpa of Gurudev came and things were falling in place, it's commendable that we raised funds in 15 days to offer. That's just the beginning. What this university, what youth can do with this is, our traditions are beautiful, but we have to use the technology to explain that. Our Shastras are beautiful, but it needs a science backing, because Shastras are scientific, but then they are all in Sanskrit. So not many Sanskrit scholars are well versed in the field of science. And those who are well versed in today's science, they hardly know anything about Sanskrit. So if this Shastra and science can come together, an amalgamation of technology and tradition, Shastra and science, I tell you the world can benefit so much. Because in our Para and Apara Vidya, there is great benefit for the world. Lot of research on such details Germans were doing continuously. They have taken our scriptures, and a lot of study and research went inside. So it's time that we call our own students and we try and understand both the aspects, Para and Apara Vidya, of this glorious country and tradition. For example, Yajnavalkya Rishi, in the seat of meditation, understood the distance between the sun and the earth, which today the science has approved. Now that was a very ancient Indian knowledge, the distance between the sun and the earth, the distance between the earth and the moon. To the precise point, sage Yajnavalkya could say, but we could not understand how he arrived. And today, with various technological advancement, people have understood that is the same distance, 108 suns between the sun and the earth, 108 moons between the earth and the moon, and this sage Yajnavalkya said. Or Brahmagupta said the diameter of the earth is 7,008 miles. How we arrived, we are not sure. But today the world, the science agrees, yes, it is 7,008 miles. So there has been, not only spiritual knowledge, but the worldliness. There is a far advancement, and lot of such hidden brilliance is available in our own tradition, in Indic traditions. This needs to be explored. The possibilities of exploration is what our university will offer. We will come up with courses, we will invite people, and with this kind of a mindset, let's dwell into what we have, so that that knowledge of what we have can be explored in detail and give it back to the world, and the world would benefit. Nothing is lost, it has to be discovered again. So these knowledges are not lost, it is there. Through our university we will do this. For this we want young minds across India and the world to be inspired in bringing out this, where we, with a scientific mind, meets the Shastras and we bring out what the world would benefit from. Many campuses we have the visions. I'm saying we probably like to have one university, which I was talking a couple of times with Advayanand. One of the campuses, probably, it's all at the thought level, we can have probably in Kurukshetra. Kurukshetra for us is very dear because that's where the knowledge of Gita, etc. was born. There probably we can have an institute for political science, which we are, it's all at the thought level consideration, it can happen sometime. Where we can have, so it's not just spiritual and something connected with music and art, but we are looking at even venturing into something like political science, through which probably we can try and bring out some of the best political thoughts and leadership. And probably we can invite students from, let us say, SAARC countries to start with. Things like this. So we have a larger vision. Young minds who can come and do it. I'll conclude with another ancient achievement, which is not very well known. India was very well advanced in sea trading, sea trades. Like 2,500 years ago, we were doing a lot of sea trade. But today, not many people know. And there is a lot of misnomers saying, like Columbus came to India, he wanted to come to India, and he landed in America too. This is an opportunity that your child can be an instrument in bringing out something very noble to the world. Let the good happen through all of us. And this was Gurudev's Sankalpa, so I'm sure, like Takshashila, Nalanda, or Hindu Benares University, ours will also be one of those universities in the years to come. Thank you very much.
Swami Mitrananji, the first youngster to undertake the sea voyage. I want to tell you something honestly. What you just said is great revelation to me. Brahmaji mentioned about the Gotra system in our
सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. प्रातस्मरणीयानां चिन्मया मिशन् अध्यक्षाणां गुरुजी तेजोमयानन्द स्वामिपादानां चरणकमलेषु सविनयं मम नमस्कारं समर्प्य तथा पूज्य ब्रह्मानंद स्वामीजी, स्वामी अद्वैतानंद जी तथा मित्रानंद जी, अन्य स्वामिपादाः, महाजनाः सर्वेभ्यः अपि शिरसा मम नमस्कारान् समर्प्य आदौ चिन्मया विश्वविद्यापीठस्य विषये कानिचन वाक्यानि वक्तुमिच्छामि। अयं सुसन्दर्भः अस्मभ्यः सर्वेभ्यः प्रमोददायकः इति भाति। Mind, to a large extent, I think it has shaped my personality of what I am today. So I feel very blessed to be part of this great initiative. Pujya Guruji and Brahmananda ji, all of them have mentioned a great deal. So in the interest of time, I must maintain brevity in my speech. I just want to touch upon three important issues. The first thing I want to talk about is what are the aspirations of this university as an academic institution. And then I will talk a little bit about the academics, the students and the stakeholders and the faculty, what exactly that we are looking at. First of all, I would like to, this is a thinking which we have been doing for the last few months. In simple terms, Chinmaya Vishwavidyapeeth will have a single pointed focus, if I have to use a word like that. Single pointed focus to open up this vast treasure called ancient Indian knowledge tradition, which includes, of course, the performing arts, music, dance, everything is part of it after all, to the modern world. I think this is going to be our single pointed focus. You know, one can elaborate it in many ways, but very clearly. So the work will spread in two dimensions. This is the feeling I have. One is the content and the other is the container. See, Asmakam Samskriti, there is a patram asti, there is a vastu asti. So we have a container and the content. Both has to be preserved. The entire container is Sanskrit, and of course there is this vast treasure of knowledge which I call it as content. So in broad terms, this university will open in these two dimensions. Patrasya poshanam, the same way about the content also, and making it relevant. In another way, if I have to put the whole thing, this university will do meaningful and serious research. Both are important, because there is a lot of research which I am personally aware of, which may not fit into both these dimensions. You know, sometimes things little bit stray away and so on, so we need to be very careful about it. Meaningful and serious research on Sanskrit, on ancient Indian knowledge traditions, modern knowledge, and synthesize all of them. For what? For creating new ideas for the emerging world order. So being a professor of management for 25 years at IIM Bangalore, there is one thing which is on the top of our mind. Day in and day out we talk about it. Today, there is a deprived meaning at workplace. It starts from the priest to the homemaker to a multinational employee, you name anybody, there is a deprived meaning at workplace. People's personality are not fully developed. It manifests into stress and so on. I think we have to find answers. The new world order must show directions for this, and this university would seriously seize itself of such issues which are of practical relevance, which Pujya Guruji talked about in his address. This university will create a new dimension in the educational space. Why do I say new dimension? Because we would like to, amongst other things, we would like to show how to run a Sanskrit university also. The Sanskrit ecosystem has issues. I'm not talking about want of efforts. I'm not talking about genuine efforts. I think there is enormous efforts. What I'm talking about is there is a certain perspective change that is required. There is a certain way we need to make ourselves contextually relevant. I think we will aspire to do all that. So this is a few things about the university I want to share during this occasion. Talking about the students, parents and the stakeholders, Swami Mitranandaji made a very inspiring, nice canvas in a very quick time, showed how we can open this treasure box called ancient Indian knowledge traditions. Let me be little bit specific in terms of what I can perhaps add to it. We would like to ensure, I think every faculty, every person associated with the Chinmaya Vishwavidyapeeth would aspire to make this entire learning of Sanskrit and ancient knowledge tradition a gainful exercise. It must be gainful because Atma Vyaktitva, there must be a Vikasa of the Atma Vyaktitva. And it should be gainful because I should be a very useful citizen, also make my own living with all my confidence and all my brimming with passion and a sense of service. So I think this is what we mean by saying, this is what we promise to the students. If you are looking that, please look at that. We are genuinely interested in creating that difference in the minds of the students. We would be very happy to see a student passing out of Chinmaya Vishwavidyapeeth walk into any domain of the profession in this country. Not just an acharya in a Sanskrit university or a priest. We would want them to say, I am equipped with ancient Indian knowledge tradition. I also know the conversation going on today. We will mainstream our students from a background of Sanskrit and ancient Indian knowledge tradition. So I would like to give this promise to the students that we would aspire to work towards such a direction. And if it interests you, we are here at your service in the name of education. More specific immediate plans, Swami Advayanandaji has already mentioned, we will start a BA in Sanskrit or Shastra studies. We will start a BA in applied Indian knowledge traditions, which is so important to this university, and that's where we want to do a lot of work. We would very soon start a BA in Advaita Vedanta also. We'll also start MA in applied Indian knowledge traditions. These are the immediate plans. I wanted to make this idea clear. We are working with all our passion to make this happen, and as Suresh ji said, very soon we'll give details and the admissions will open and so on and so forth. As far as the academic fraternity is concerned, what is it that this university can offer? What is it that this university is trying to give a message? First thing, Sanskrit fraternity in this country can look upon to Chinmaya Vishwavidyapeeth when it comes to a number of innovations in pedagogical aspects of running a Sanskrit program. This is the first most important work that we will engage ourselves in. We will do a proof of concept. How do you make a Sanskrit university which is sought after, which is relevant, which is interesting, which is engaging, which is contextually appealing? So I think a few years down the line, I am able to see that quite a few academics come to Chinmaya Vishwavidyapeeth to understand this know-how which we would have created by then. This is the first thing I want to talk about for the academics in this country. This university, CAF is already doing it, I am aware of it. This university will create such a nice ambience for what I call it as cross-disciplinary research. Cross-disciplinary research riding on the platform of applied Indian knowledge traditions. Of course, areas like Vedanta, it could be Sanskrit, it could be music, dance, arts, other art forms, but also bring in the modern day issues and the knowledge and find out how to synthesize these. I think the charm of this is how do you synthesize and create the next higher forms of knowledge which can be used. I think this is one area where academics can look upon this university in the years to come. And more importantly, we are passionate. We have so much of guidance from a battery of very senior Swamijis, Pujya, Gurudev in his own blessings, Guruji, everybody's support is there. We will create a very compelling academic environment. I would say a compelling academic environment to seriously consider spending a good amount of their career. For any academics, we would like to provide that kind of a thing. I must share in couple of sentences what I have been feeling for the last 3 months. I have been a little more involved with this university in whatever little way I can. Ever since I got associated with this idea, I am sure my other colleagues would agree to it. I was constantly feeling that there is the Iswara Icha here. There is this Bhagavat Kataksha and Kripa. Somehow this feeling every time when we talk about issues, when we talk about events, I am overpowered by this thought. I am sure many of you would share this feeling. And I think Pujya Gurudev's blessings and all these will continue to give us that kind of strength. Because the first year is a few steps of baby walking. We are not shy of doing it. We want to get up and start running, but we are ready to do all that is required. I see this feeling that there is an Iswara Icha behind all this. So that is the strength on which this I am saying on behalf of all my people at Chinmaya Vishwavidyapeeth and all those who are on their way coming. On behalf of all of them, I share this sentiment and this feeling. And I will conclude by just making one statement. For the immediate, what do we need at the university? We need a lot of support from all the acharyas. We need all support from all of you to get the first batch of perhaps 30 to 50 students. So let me conclude by saying this famous statement in Taittiriya Upanishad. Amayantu brahmacharina swaha, vimayantu brahmacharina swaha, damayantu brahmacharina swaha, shamayantu brahmacharina swaha. With these few words, I take this opportunity to once again thank Pujya Guruji and all Swamijis here for blessing me with this responsibility, and with all your support, with the support of everybody, all of us at Chinmaya Vishwavidyapeeth will make this vision a reality. We are very confident of it. Hari Om Tat Sat.
Hari Om. I will briefly supplement. Of course, all of you will be seeing the website from now onwards. I'll supplement what Professor Mahadevan said. In the performing arts arena, about the programs that he mentioned in the Sanskrit field, similarly in the performing arts arena, we will be having integrated programs, 5-year integrated programs for Hindustani music and Indian percussion. Details obviously you will be seeing on the website. The reason is, the key aspect here is the performing art. Students must be able to spend enough time and enough depth in the art to be able to come out as aspiring performers in the performing arts world. So I will say that, and I request the dignitaries to kindly step down, because now we will have the formal launch, what we are here now for, the formal launch of the website. Pujya Guruji will launch the website. So I request all of you to kindly watch the screen as the website is being launched by Guruji. Hari Om. The launch is going to be like this, that can we have the lights down? Pujya Guruji will launch the website, and Shri N.M. Sundar, the campus director of our Chinmaya Ishwar Gurukul for Indic Wisdom, he's worked day in and day out for the last 1 month to set up this website for us to witness. He and his team, and I must congratulate him and his team, as also the developers who have worked really hard to put this up. And of course they will undergo a lot of changes additions over the next few days, but this is the website that is being launched today. I request all of you to kindly join in participating in it.
Jai. Jai. Thank you, Hari Om. Pranams Guruji, and my greetings to all of you. We have heard significant amount about the Chinmaya Vishwavidyapeeth, the Chinmaya University. At the core of it is, of course, Param Pujya Gurudev, and we've got a very beautiful quote from him which says, "A guru does not condition the minds of his disciple by the walls of his own ideas, but points out to them new and untried realms of contemplation." That, in essence, is the core of what the university, modern university, is all about. The vision and mission, I just wanted to show you how this is a evolving, it's not a flash in the pan as Guruji's composition. It is really related to something that Guruji did a few years ago, which is the Chinmaya Shiksha Darshan, which talks about both the challenges of today's education system and how Chinmaya Mission, Chinmaya International School earlier, and now the Chinmaya Vishwavidyapeeth, that today's education is fruitless and a mere labor which does not inculcate noble virtues in students. We are determined to achieve the threefold noble goal of education, Jnanam, Seva, cha Kaushalam. That then takes us back to the vision, and as Guruji beautifully said it, the core values that Guruji himself revealed to us, articulated to us in a very engaging conversation that we had with Guruji about 3 months ago, which is spirituality, purity, practicality, and innovation. And Mahadevanji has made the commitments that these values will be at the core of our academic program. When we say all this, we cannot forget our inspiration, Pujya Gurudev. The reason why I specifically bring it up is also the On a Quest movie that was launched last year, and the DVDs are available now. For the modern university student, the On a Quest is a very appropriate theme in which we look at Gurudev as the skeptic, the journalist, the seeker, the master. And that becomes an ongoing journey that is done by every student as they step into the portals of the university. Guruji's profile, of course, takes a central place. Here also we've emphasized Guruji as a teacher. We've explained the logo. Please do visit our website to look at the Chancellor's message. The logo is a very beautiful one that talks about the unfoldment that we bring about and the universal vision that the Chinmaya University promotes. You will find details of the Board of Management, the Executive Council. We have a very talented group of people who have come together to establish this university, and that's what is going to make us successful as a university. That's what's going to make our students thrive at the university. As Mahadevanji pointed out, the Shastra studies, the applied Indic knowledge traditions. In fact, it is very appropriate that for a university like this, we have a professor of management as our vice chancellor. I'm not going to click into all of these because we invite you to do it. And as you see it, you'll see several details in the applied Indic knowledge traditions. Mahadevanji talked about how we're going to not only do the traditional Shastra aspect of it, Sanskrit and the Shastras, but also how we're going to focus on the skill sets that are essential to the student today. And there'll be electives such as Vedic mathematics, yoga for health, Artha Shastra, all of it creating the nice meeting point between the traditional and the contemporary. Our Nadabindu programs the integrated master's program, Hindustani and Indian percussion that Suresh referred to. Again, in our modern music, sometimes there's a lot of emphasis on performance, but here we will also talk about a lot of the other aspects that is needed in today's, for the modern practitioner of music and dance, which is the principles, music composition, the disciplines, the aesthetics, and all of the related topics. I invite you all to visit our website and find out more. Clearly, we've taken a few baby steps in this process. So while I accept, the congratulations that has been offered, this website will continue to grow. There will be more information. There'll be new information. There'll be more content. And the one thing I do want to talk about is the campuses that we have. The campuses are accessible on the main page itself, as well as when you go from a campus perspective. At Chinmaya Nadabindu, we briefly talking about the nature of Chinmaya Nadabindu, the academic vision that pervades all the programs at Chinmaya Nadabindu, and why you should consider the Chinmaya University programs. In addition, each of those campus pages highlights the programs in that specific campus. And when you go back to what is also important is we're also starting to build up information about the student life at Nadabindu and what happens in the neighborhood. So you have an understanding of the environment in which students are going to thrive, the facilities that they have available to them. And of course, both Chinmaya Ishwar Gurukula and Chinmaya Nadabindu are set amidst beauty. And therefore, just wandering around the campus is itself a treat. But we accept that students are concerned about accommodation, students are concerned about food, and you'll find details as they grow and as they become available. Likewise, in the Chinmaya Ishwar Gurukula. And in each of these, we've also provided picture galleries for you to take a look. So the student life, what happens in Ernakulam and the surrounding areas. So I welcome you all to visit the website. Now, I know one of the things that you'll be wondering is this a happening place? And that's why we've called out the events and the news right up front. As more and more programs get added, whether these are programs done by the faculty, the way, say, Professor Mahadevan takes a workshop, or Himanshu and Pramodini do music programs or dance programs elsewhere, those will also be highlighted. But the most important thing I know for most people as a student and as a parent will be the apply. As Suresh mentioned, we're not yet open for admissions, but we expect to be very shortly. So I would expect that parents and students will come back. There is a place to click here to register your interest so that we keep you updated on the information and on the programs as they evolve, the admission process, etc. If there's any questions that you want to talk with us, Suresh and I are, of course, available after this. With that, I take your leave. Thank you. Hari Om. chinmayauniversity.ac.in. If for the next couple of hours you find some glitches, please bear with us. It will be up and running in 100% way very shortly. Hari Om. Pranams.
Thank you, Sundar. That was wonderful. And many people have seen the website in the last, the work in progress in the last couple of days. Guruji himself saw it yesterday, and everybody has liked it. I request all of you to visit the website. As Sundar said, probably in a couple of hours from now, it will be up and running properly, and then maybe you can see all the details. The last and the most pleasant duty on me is to express my gratitude on my personal behalf, on behalf of the entire Chinmaya University team, for what we are assembled here today for. First and foremost, Pujya Guruji, Kritagnyata, for all the inspiration, the leadership, the guidance, and the smiling support at all times. Hari Om. Pujya Swami Brahmananji, day before yesterday when you were here for the Chinmaya Pradeep program and I requested you, the almost immediate acceptance, I was on the top of the world. And I told so to Guruji too. Many, many thanks for staying back for this event and for giving us your benediction. Hari Om. Swami Mitranandji and Swami Advyanandji, thank you for your support, for your guidance, and your continued support in making this university dream a reality in the real sense of the word. To the entire all the Acharyas in Chinmaya Mission here present, and Swarupananji is not present here because he is in Hong Kong. To every one of you, all the Acharyas, gratitude, thanks, Guru Samarpan. To all of you present here, you have taken away time and spent your day in the morning here in the expectation of something beautiful which is happening. And I can tell you that something remarkable is happening for the future for the education space in higher education in the country. To all of you, thank you very much. To Mahadevanji, to Varkhedi-ji, thank you. To the webcast team who have, and the brahmacharis who worked in hard for putting it up, thank you very much. To those who are viewing this on live webcast and those who will be viewing in future too, Hari Om, all my gratitude. And you will, as you visit the website, you will have the contact page. As a registrar and principal director of the university, as a campus director Sundar and Pramodini, whatever questions you have, whatever doubts, whatever interests you may have, as a student, as a faculty, as a philanthropist, as just a matter of interest, please don't hesitate to contact us. We want to take this university of Pujya Gurudev's dream into the right space in the world where it belongs. Hari Om, thank you very much. And there is tea and snacks which will be served here. In fact, some of you can have it inside too. It will be served here. Bapu has kindly arranged the Chinmaya Mission Bombay has made arrangements for today. So kindly have your refreshments before you leave. Hari Om. We will have the closing prayer. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.